All right, Bosh, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast, back at MMA Den. Different angle than the other time when I was with the main man, Victor. Today, I'm with my new mate, K1 kickboxer, champion. We get into it. I'm going to pronounce this name right because he's corrected me 3 times. Micah Smith.
Micah, almost.
Micah Richards was in my mind.
No,
Micah
almost.
Smith,
How you
top
doing,
man.
man?
Thanks for doing this, mate.
No
Nickname
worries.
being?
People call me Mike, some people call me Mulli, but yeah, Micah's cool, don't really mind.
Good. I was going to butcher the nickname, so we stuck with the main name. But mate, as I say, thank you very much for having me on the mats today, MMA Den. I don't think I've ever trained here actually. I think I used to train at the old one with Victor back in the day. Yeah, exactly. Just round the corner in it. But yeah, here we are, mate. So as I say, thanks for doing this. We met recently. I met you at the Battle of Battersea briefly, but then we spoke more online after.
Yeah.
Big victory for you.
Yeah.
Champion, as I say. Tell us who you are and what you do, mate.
Yeah, so like you said, Micah Smith, what do I do? I'm a fighter, I guess. Outside of that, it's weird, people, when you're a fighter, people just think that's all you do, but just a normal guy. See, fighting kind of took over my life in a sense the last 3 years. But yeah, K1 champion, feels good to say. Yeah.
That's cool, mate. What champion are you? Champion of what?
So it was an English title.
Very good.
So first pro,
big title then.
Yeah, first pro title. Was a big win. It was a good event, good opponent as well. That's what kind of makes the win sweeter. When you fight someone that's good, you don't really want to fight someone for a title when it's not really a good opponent.
Right.
It kind of takes it away. And I feel like in your heart and heart, you will know deep down, like it doesn't really sit well. When you fight someone who's really good and you're testing you in the ring and you get the win, it makes it much more, so yeah.
Very good. And you stopped your guy from memory, right?
Yeah. So
I was there. I'm not going
no,
see
it was
now.
a second round stoppage. Yeah, he was tough though, man.
Yeah,
I was obviously with fighting, you don't get paid for overtime. That's one thing I've always said. When people say, "Oh, do you like to get in there and get out quickly?" I was like, however long it takes, it takes. I'm ready to go for the full distance because you prepare for that and go longer. But if you can see the opportunity to get out of there quicker, you take it because you don't get paid well in fighting. You don't get paid much. You definitely don't get paid for overtime.
That's it.
So
That's
you get in
interesting.
and out.
I'll tell you what's interesting there is, like you say, I think most people would you want to get out there early, right? You say people unless you're overwhelmingly better and you want to stay in there for some time and get some rounds in, why would you want to be in there for extra time,
literally,
right?
it's like, if I can get out there, get in, get out, one piece, get the win, I'll do it.
That's cool.
But again, like I said, when you fight good opponents, it gets harder. So, yeah, and we don't take easy fights here.
That's it. Well, what weight did you fight at?
So between 77 and 79. So,
Right.
so the lowest I fought is actually 76, but
Right.
yeah, I don't want to do that again.
I don't want to do that again.
Nah.
But I'll tell you what's interesting. I've had, for whatever reason, recently, I've had a lot of K1 fighters that are around your weight, right?
Really?
I've had your club mate back a while back now, Ruben, also fought top of the bill that night, right? I've had Jacob Wells, who's fought him. I've had Aaron Duvigneau, I think I said his name right, who's fought him. They've all fought each other. They've all beaten, lost to each other or whatever it is. For whatever reason, we seem to be sitting around that weight in the K1.
Familiar names, I must say. Do recognise the names.
Yeah, are you getting in there with them? Is that your sort of...
I mean, I was supposed to fight, was possible I could have fought Jacob Wells before, but I think he got an injury, didn't work out, so pulled out, had another opponent step in. But if the opportunity's right, why not? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a sport, end of the day, you train hard, you're going to fight the best guys. And in fighting, 1 + 1 never equals 2. It's like you said, like, Jacob beat Ruben, Ruben beat Aaron, Jacob lost to Aaron. It's all mixing and match. On your day, however it goes, may the best man win. But yeah.
That's it. And because I tell you what is interesting, you fight around that weight too, but like being up close to you, I would say you're bigger than the other 3. So you might not be quite as tall as Aaron, but you're definitely thicker. You're obviously a lot taller than Jacob, and you're thicker as well, I'd say, than Ruben. Like, am I right with that?
Yeah, so with the size, right, yeah. Quite a bit taller than Ruben. I'd say mass-wise, probably a bit thicker, yeah. But
they can all get it, is what you're saying to me. Not Ruben, obviously.
Not Ruben, yeah, obviously he's that
Ruben.
teammate / coach. But it's like, we can make the weight, good time and good, why not? Like,
and we'll see. I don't know whether it's a K1 thing or what, because if it was boxing, I don't think it'd work out that way. But everyone out of the 3 that have all fought each other, not to make it about them, I'm talking to you, but you know them well, obviously. They all speak very highly of each other. Like, even though there's been wins and losses, there's no sort of animosity there.
I feel like, for me, I feel like in this sport, a main thing I pride on is respect. Like, I feel like that's a big thing. Like, you get in there with someone, like, it could be from another country. They might not even speak the same language, but you can gain their respect. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you have a good fight and you put on a good performance, both of you, there's a sense, like, I don't want to keep saying the same word, but there is a sense of respect and mutual, like, I don't know the word, but you leave with something from each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like, even though it's a fighting sport, combat, you can get hurt, yes, but I feel like if you leave it all in there, there's no reason why it has to come outside of the ring.
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be any animosity. So it's not very surprising I hear that they all speak highly of each other, because you go around, if you follow the sport, you see it all the time, like fighters will fight on a big show, then 2 weeks later when they've all healed up, they're training together. And they're like, yeah, we spoke backstage, they're a really cool guy. So yeah, it's not really that surprising, but yeah.
But I think that's how it should be in terms of the respect thing. I mean, maybe not necessarily the training with each other, because you might fight each other again, right? But each his own. Sometimes it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know, you
course,
go and learn it, you think, well, I've lost him anyway, fuck it, let's learn and whatever. But I think that's how it should be. But it seems to be, I don't know whether it's this misfits thing or the rise of that kind of boxing side of things. Yeah. Whereas it seems to be like immediately after there's, not always, but 99% of the time after, there's always respect, right? But then you get back on social media and it's, this guy, that, and it's up to build again.
With the misfits thing, I feel like, it's changed combat sports, man. I guess it can, like they say, all publicity is good publicity. So it is raising the sport. Like, you're getting a lot more people involved, a lot more viewership. But I feel like when it comes to a sense of like martial arts, it does change. But like you said, I mean, the name is called Misfits, for example. The name of the show is kind of what you get. But I feel like you can see some good in it, some bad. But credit to anyone who steps into the ring, whether it's Misfits, K1, even if it's an interclub, any level, if you step into the ring, at that moment you are putting your life on the line. Not to sound cliche, but you never know what can happen. Like, I've gone to interclubs and I've seen knockouts happen accidentally, but this is the sport, do you know what I mean? And it is it is like, it can be worrying to see like, whoa, even at this entry level, people are really getting hurt. So if you do make the walk, credit to you. Like, if you put the effort in, may the best person win. But again, at the end of the day, you can shake hands. Whoever gets their hand raised to live to fight another day. That's the main thing as well. I feel like wins and losses are important. There are something like no one really wants to lose. But if you can get into the ring, come out in one piece, and still have like all your senses and you're aware, then yeah, it's just a blessing.
Whilst trying to win as well, right? I think
that's
if you try and win, you know, hey. It's only idiots that are going to criticise you anyway, right? You're going to feel like shit after. We've all had losses, right? Where you get out and you go like, fuck. Well, I don't know if you've had losses. We'll get to that in a minute. But like, most people have had losses, right? And you get like, of course it feels like shit, but from the outside, it is what it is, isn't it? If you're fighting the right people, you're going to lose.
And I've had my fair share of losses. Not many, I'm glad to say, but I've had.
You said fair share. It sounds like you're
I had to question myself.
Easy now.
Only two, but you do take lessons from it. It's true what they say. Like, you learn more in a loss than a win. And from, like you're saying, it's like, it's just like you take a loss, and if you try to win, you fight your best, it's not going to be the end of the one. What you have to realize with people who criticise, like the haters and stuff, whether you win or lose, they're going to hate. They're going to find something to critique about. You just keep the right people around you, keep a close circle, then...
And who are they anyway, by the way? Like, if you're criticising someone who's got in there and fought and lost, you're a fucking bum anyway.
You see it all the time. Like, you see in all sports. You see guys who never kicked a ball. You can't even score a penalty in the park with their friends, criticise professional footballers in front of 80,000 people, saying this person's shit. And you're like, this is a professional footballer.
Well, that's a good example too, because professional footballers nowadays are getting paid, like, some of them, £250,000 a week. Right, and there's some fat bloke in a pub going, oh, he's shit.
And I get it, it's like, passion, and you have the love for the sport. You've probably been a fan your whole life, and you probably had the bed sheets and everything, but at the end of the day, it's like, you can't do this. No,
but I tell you why it gets my back up more with fighters more than footballers, because I think a lot of football fans, like the guy I gave an example of saying in the pub going, oh, shit, they don't think they're shit, they're just saying that in the moment, right? Yeah. Whereas a lot of people that watch fighting go, oh, I can fucking chin him, and it's like, hey, you know, come on, man, you've never even trained a day in your life.
I do get that as well. I do get frustrated with when people, because I see it all the time, and even as becoming a fighter myself, you realise, like, you look at fighting in a different way as well. I probably did the same before I got into the sport. Like, oh, this guy.
I think we all did, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's running around, he's not fighting, what's he doing? But then as you learn the sport, you grow into the sport, you immerse yourself, and you realise, no, there's a way to fight, and it's not always what it seems. Like, even with the bar, you said the other day, I'm seeing people say the bar quit, and I'm like, this is heavyweight boxing. 10-ounce gloves. U6 probably been training for 12 weeks, strength conditioning with the best sparring punch. That punch is probably hurt. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he quit. Like, unless he literally spat his gum shot and said, I'm not getting up. It's like he was in there, he made the walk, he had the fight, he got dropped twice, and those were clean, heavy shots. Like, to say he quit for me is a bit much, but
I don't think he quit. I was there live. I don't think he quit. I think he changed his game when Usyk was in front of him, and suddenly it was like, oh wow, this ain't playtime now. Now
I feel like if you watch the sport and you follow Usyk, it's like he's fought Tyson Fury twice, Anthony Joshua twice, now DeBar twice. In all of his second fights, he's looked better than the first, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's like you see this guy studies his game and makes improvements of it. Even I was watching like the promos up, and there was like, "Oh, are you watching the old fight? Or are you watching Danny?" He was like, "No, I'm watching myself."
Right.
That shows where his mindset. He's not focused on the point. He's focused on himself, and he's pulled out probably one of the best performances of the year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's class, man. Like you know, he is class, and people say about the size as well. Like that's another thing. That's like I don't think the common fan that don't see him in person and whatever realise that. Listen, he's 6'3" and he's about 105 kilos. He ain't too small for nothing. To me, I've said this on here. I'm repeating myself, but like. At a certain point, you're big enough, right? How big do you need to be?
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like size, when it comes to fighting, size does play a factor, such as speed, all the other attributes, but I think the main thing is skill.
Yeah, of course it is.
Where he's smaller than everyone, that's cake. He might be at a disadvantage there, let's say, but his skill makes up for it.
But I don't even think it's much of a disadvantage.
I don't think so either.
If you're 100, let's say he's 105 kilos, he's around that, right? If you're 105 kilos, that's big enough to hurt anyone, right? So
exactly.
you're probably faster. Not always. Doesn't work out that you're smaller, you don't hit as hard, and you're faster. But you know, by and large, like listen, he uses his advantage. The man's class, right? The man's doing his thing.
It's unbelievable. Like what he does is for a heavyweight as well. You don't hardly see anyone like that. Yeah. You haven't seen a heavyweight move like that.
And here's what's interesting when we're talking about size is like. Before him, the fight before him was Lawrence Okoli fighting, right? And he's gone up the weights. Now, I've said this with other people and different people's opinions, and some people have agreed with it, whatever. But I feel like Lawrence Okoli was using that a little bit as like a dress rehearsal, if you like. Now, what I mean by that is he weighed in at 262 pounds, which is close to 120 kilos. I think it's 119 kilos, which is massive considering he used to fight at 91 kilos, right? I'm jumping around weights of kilos and pounds, but fill in the gaps, right? 200 pounds, 91 kilos, but he's up in like 119 kilos now. Now, I feel like he felt comfortable that he was going to beat his opponent there. So he allowed himself to get heavier to try it. Now, this is just fucking bro science, right? This is me looking at him and just as a thing. Because I think he did look a bit puffy.
No, I thought that as well. Because I was watching it on TV and I was like, this is a heavyweight. I remember he was at cruiserweight, then he brought Bridgerweight in. So I thought this was another Bridgerweight fight.
Yeah.
Then I saw, it's heavyweight. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, he looks not like how he used to look, let's say.
Yeah.
Like, he used to be very tall, long, lean. But he was, like I said, he was a bit puffy, a bit soft around the edges. Still can still box, but it's just like he didn't look how I would expect him to look.
He looked laboured to me. He looked kind of slow. He looked a bit off the pace. But I feel like he probably did that because he felt very confident he could beat this guy.
Yeah, but I feel like with fighting, you can't take those risks.
No, you can't. But I would think, again, like maybe, and this is all guessing, so I'm saying next time what do I know, right? But I'm just, from a guessing point of view, his next fight at heavyweight, I would imagine he's probably coming lighter than that and probably 20 pounds lighter.
I think he would. I feel like you saw the same in MMA with John Jones when he first made his heavyweight.
That's a great example,
When he first made his heavyweight debut against Cyril Gane.
Similar build as well, John Jones to Okoli, that long frame,
long legs, long arm. But like, for example, when John Jones fights, you see he's much more leaner, you can see a bit more definition, he's a bit more cut. He wasn't like that in the first fight. I feel like he's experimenting. He still won, did it in great fashion as well.
Smashed both of them as well, didn't he?
But I feel like the second time around, you can see, okay, he's worked out where he sits well at. And that's an important thing, even for like, when making weight, whether it's heavyweight, middleweight, welterweight, you have to find out what's best for you. Because obviously people, like with cutting weight, for example, people think like, the lighter you go, it's better because you can just refill.
Definitely ain't.
I don't feel like that.
No.
Especially as someone like I fight at 77. I'm quite big for 77. Yeah. I think I'm all right with it.
I'd say very big, like looking at it,
I feel good fighting at 77. But people say, can you go lower? Like if you get to 75 and rehydrate, you'll be much bigger. I'm like, yeah, I will, but you're forgetting I have to cut more. Yeah. It's not just the same.
You're not the same at that either, right? That's the thing.
It'll take away. I feel like people who cut less are probably more at advantage because there's less stress on the body. They're not cutting out a lot of food or like calories. Obviously you can get nutrition that helps, but you're still depleting yourself.
Yeah, I agree because listen, like it's all right saying you can get there. You can get to 65 if you need to. If I've got a gun to your head, but you ain't gonna be able to fight, are you? Do you know what I mean? It's a waste of time. Like you wouldn't be able to get off that chair at 65. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a waste of time. But like, how many fights you had total?
Including amateurs and pro. Oof, I have to go through it. Amateurs was Adam Martzak.
Oh wow, you got names too. You're real switched on.
I tried to remember. Adam Martzak, Michael.
Roughly, what are we talking roughly?
Amateurs was probably like 6, I want to say.
Okay.
And then pro right now is 7 pro.
Right, and you're how old?
I'm 24.
24, you're that young? Jesus Christ. He's only a little bit older than me. But he's 24 years old, so you've got a long time in this game. What age did you start?
I started when I was 22, so no, I just turned, was 21, so I was 21. Yeah, so I turned 21 that year, so only October will be 3 years since I've started.
Yeah, but to me, listen, I've had this conversation with many people on here that have said things that they started later. I had a guy on yesterday, Ben Day. Shout out Ben. It won't be yesterday when this comes out, but you know what I mean, like the last episode.
Yeah.
Ben Day, who was a professional boxer, he didn't start boxing until he was 27, I think he said. Went on to become a professional. Never had no amateur fights either. Went pro straight away. Blah blah blah. Don't listen to this. Watch the episode and find out yourself. But like he went on to be Southern Area champion at 2 different weight divisions. You know, had a mad career, and he's now in his later 40s, and he's about to have a comeback. So good on him. Shout out to Ben. But like the reason I sort of bring that up and what came to my mind before I went off on a rant is 21. I think listen, you're fully developed. You ain't been getting punched in the head as a kid, which I think there's a big benefit to, which is what I was coming to the point what I've spoken to with other people. I don't think you need to be in the gym from 6. Now there's obvious advantages.
Pros and cons,
exactly, pros and cons.
I feel like there's a benefit of me, quote unquote, starting later. Yeah, I'm more developed in my body, smart with the decisions I make. Like I can process things differently just in certain decisions. I can be influenced less. But at the same time, you put yourself in this environment from a young age, the ring experience will be much greater.
There is, but I think it finds you when it finds you. Now, I'm not trying to sound too like higher power or anything, but I think like, listen, when it finds you, it finds you.
Yeah.
When your time is your time.
Yeah, exactly. I've always wanted to fight. That's the thing. That
what did you do before? Was you doing sport?
I've been a very sporty.
That's what I'm getting at.
Sporty child. So like, always played football. Football was the main sport.
Right.
But in school, played basketball. Remember primary school, I did judo. That was like part of PE. But football was the main one. But I've always been interested in fighting.
But see, that's the thing. I think as long as you've been an athlete before, I think you can't just start at 21. Like if you've done nothing, do you know what I mean? At 21, if you've never been an athlete before,
you can, but just be much harder.
Right, and you're not. Exactly.
Harder,
you're right. I'd never say can't, but do you know what I mean? Like if you start, you've never done any sport in your life, and at 21 you decide you want to step in there, probably not the best option in the world. But like if you've been an athlete, I think we've all been in there with people as well that ain't that good, but are real athletic, and you go,
you get those.
There's an issue. Like it's an added issue, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You do get fighter types, as I call it. You get the fitness guy, where it's like maybe doesn't have a lot of like that fighting spirit, but he can just do the rounds. He can just get through. He's proper fit. Then you got, I say, the talented type where they don't train hard, but they're very good. And usually, what I find with those types, their fitness is not the greatest. Do you know what I mean? I've always said I've never been a talented, sporty individual, whether it's football, basketball, like sprinting. I'm not gonna grow up and say I was the fastest in my class, strongest in my class. I wasn't like that. But for me, I just don't want to give that person something to say. He gives up early. It's like, I might be shit, but I'm going to try.
Well, at the end of the day, that's the one thing you can control.
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing. It's like where I've not been, like I said, the fastest or the strongest or most technical footballer, whatever, any sport, I just try. That's what a lot of things people used to rate me. Was like, oh, what's Michael best at? His work rate.
Right.
He just tries. He's non-stop. He makes a mistake, just carries on. I feel like that's helped me a lot transitioning here, because when I started, again, I've never really had a fighting background. It was just like, I've been interested in it, I watched a lot of anime growing up. Fighting's always on my screen, whether it's animated, real fighting, dumb YouTube videos, wherever it is. So it's like, when I got to the age where I could like provide for myself to fund it, I was like, I'm gonna try this. I was like, I did it, came to one class, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try one class, see how it feels, because I'm not really feeling football anymore. I'm not on waking up early Sunday, Saturday mornings, driving far in the cold to lose 2-0 or win 2-0. I'm just like, oh, this is long, man.
Where'd you start? You started here?
Yeah, I started here. So what happened was I was playing football at the time, and I just didn't want to play football on a team anymore. I'm happy watching football. That's fine enough for me, as long as my team's doing good. And then I was coming from work, so I used to work in Ladbroke Grove, and then I usually drive, but my car was doing MOT that day, so I had to get the bus. And it was a hot day. I remember it was a hot September day, random for the UK, and there was a lot of traffic going around the roundabout. I was like to bus driver, can you just let me off and I'll walk to near where my nan lives? My nan doesn't live too far from me. That's where my car was doing MOT. And as I was walking, I was coming around the roundabout. I saw my maid. I was like, oh, I've seen that place online. I was literally walked in, saw a couple people hitting pads. I think a few people doing PTs. And someone was like, oh, how can I help? And I was like, oh, just having a look around. They was like, oh yeah, take a flyer here's some of the classes. And I was like, cool. Just took it, left. And then I was supposed to have training on a Wednesday, the next day, and it got cancelled. And I was just like, oh, what am I going to do now? I have nothing else going on. And I remember I was just packing my bag for work, and I saw the fight. I was like, I'll just go to a class, £15. What do I have to lose? It's like an hour class. I went there, and yeah, it was good. It was an MMA class, because that's what I initially wanted to start. It was MMA. And then the coach was like, you ever done any sort of fight? I was like, not one thing. The most I do is watch UFC, play UFC on PlayStation, and that's about it. And it was fun. It was good. Like, just did what felt natural. And then, yeah, I was getting taken down by wrestlers. Never seen a wrestler in person before, just getting double-legged front. I was like, fucking hell, this is mad, isn't it? And then, end of the class, we were doing sparring. And only technique I'll say I knew how to somewhat do was a question mark kick. Because I remember I watched Israel Adesanya do a tutorial online on his YouTube. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to try it. And I did it, and it landed. And I was like, oh, shit. Coach was like, you have a good question mark kick, come again. I was like, cool. He's like, when's the next class? He was like, Thursday. I was like, yeah, it was a Tuesday. So it's like Thursday. I was like, cool. Came, just got the ball rolling from there.
That's interesting. It's like just because your car was... It's like a twist of fate, isn't it?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like meant to be.
Yeah, because I remember I used to search like fighting gyms around South London, and this came up before, but where it was in the old gym, I could never find it.
Right.
Because of where the arches were.
It was in an archway, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's right.
I was like, where is this place?
Well, this one's in an archway as well, but a different archway.
But
it's a bit more open on the street,
main road, yeah. So I saw this gym on the main, and I was like, oh, but there was two at the time.
Right.
There was like, yeah, the
MMA. In
MMA.
that transition period, yeah, right.
So I was like, okay, so where's this one? So there was like, yeah, it's around the corner, 9 now. I was like, okay, that makes sense now. But yeah, literally just I struck gold because...
That's funny, yeah.
I just was walking and saw it, literally just looked up. I was like, oh, let me just have a look in. Because I could have sworn I just carried on walking and life could have been so much different.
Yeah.
But at one moment, here we are now. So,
that's mad, isn't it? And
yeah.
why have you gone to kickboxing rather than MMA then?
So when I started in MMA, obviously I didn't have any background. I wasn't specialised like a grappling, jiu-jitsu, strike. And coach was like, okay, you need to go to jiu-jitsu classes to get your jiu-jitsu up, do wrestling and do striking classes, go to the Muay Thai classes. So it would be like, so where it was just at first was just Tuesdays and Thursdays. It was like, okay, now it's Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, because that's where all the other classes were. So I'll do like Muay Thai on a Monday, MMA on a Tuesday, then Wednesday Jiu-Jitsu, so on and so forth.
Sorry, is this evenings because you're working in the day?
Evenings,
Yeah, right,
so
right. You got a proper job, obviously, right?
Yeah, so coming after work, and then and what happened was I was just going to the classes, going, and then Victor, head coach, obviously, where he took the Muay Thai class, he's like, do you want to do an interclub? And I was like, what's an interclub? What's that? He's like, oh, it's just like an open spar, come down. I was like, okay, cool. And at this point, I've sparred now. I'm a bit more around in the gym, so this is probably like 6 weeks in. So this is just like going Muay Thai classes, going MMA, going Jiu-Jitsu. And I was like, okay, cool. And I fell in love more with the Muay Thai. So I did the interclub, and it was good. I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. Like, you spar someone you've never seen before. And
for anyone who doesn't know, an interclub's like an unscored bout, basically.
Yeah,
it's a fight, but there's no winner at the end.
Yeah, you wouldn't even call it's basically, I didn't even like to say it's a fight, because people think, oh, there's a winner. It's not even a fight.
Right.
It's basically just an open spar. You come down. It's just similar to a fight where you weigh in.
Yeah.
You don't have to cut weight or anything. You just literally turn up on the day, give your name, just say, yeah, I'm here to do an interclub. What discipline, whether it's K1, Muay Thai, you even have Jiu-Jitsu interclubs, MMA interclubs.
And for the boxing fans, if you come from amateur boxing, like it's the equivalent of like what we'd call a skills bout in amateur boxing.
Yeah, so that's it. So you weigh in, and then you say your name, age, what weight you are, and then you get matched up with someone with similar size and experience. Or if you're going to go with someone more experienced, they'll let them know ahead. Like the person you're going with is a first timer, let them work, take it easy, no heavy shots. And at the end, you get your both your hands get raised. And I was like, it's a good experience because you're fighting in front of people. People's families come down, like the gym. Like it's a good atmosphere to build you up for a fight. Like I would recommend anyone who wants to get into fighting before amateurs, just crank out interclubs until you're like properly ready and your coaches feel you're ready. Just get interclubs out of the way because it doesn't affect any records that people are worried about. You can get a lot of ring experience. You fight people same size, weight, experience, and you could try your things.
And you get that nervous energy because someone you don't know, innit?
Yeah, and just like I said, ring experience is something you don't want to waste. If you can get as much ring experience before your first fight, I would highly recommend it, especially in an interclub where you get that same atmosphere. You do get that. It's not exactly the same, obviously, when you get to your first amateur fight, first pro fight, you're like, okay, we're at pro level now. So you do get that added more, but for that first stage, it's very similar, and I would recommend it. So yeah, I did it interclub, and coach was like, yeah, you're good. And I was like, when's the next one? And he's like, yeah, probably next few weeks. And then from there, I was just doing interclubs, and then from interclubs, I remember, I think after my third interclub, coach was like, do you want to fight on a show? And I was like, no. I was like, yeah, why not? He's like, yeah, there's a show coming up. It's like a tournament style in Birmingham. It's a decision bout. I was like, cool, let's do it. And then from there, went there, won the tournament in my weight division. And then it was like, yeah, in August, there's another show if you want to. I was like, let's do it. And because I was getting into so much striking bouts, and going to so many camps from here, camp started, I couldn't do much jiu-jitsu.
Right.
So that's where I just kind of fell in love with the striking more. Like, yeah.
That's cool, man. But that's, you know, listen, a lot of people go the other way, don't they? They start in one thing,
a lot
and
of
they
people,
find
yeah,
MMA.
that's the thing. So like when I've gone to so obviously I've done like MMA here. Like even like a few weeks ago, I joined the class again after the first time in a while. Everyone was like, and not a lot of people know that I did MMA and I did jiu-jitsu. They was like, oh, you doing MMA?
Did you do any jiu-jitsu tournaments before?
Yeah, I did one.
Did you? Yeah, good man.
I did one submission only jiu-jitsu tournament.
Hey.
And I got the gold.
Hey.
And I remember I was...
Should have mentioned that at the start.
That's the thing, like, this is all like the space of a lot of time, so...
Gi or no gi?
No gi.
Well done, good man. Welcome to the club.
No gi, yeah, no gi. So I'm a one stripe
Sorry,
white
I'm
belt.
actually at a gi seminar tomorrow, so I'm not a gi hater.
One stripe white belt, no gi, gold medalist comp. Oh, that's probably one of the most nervous I've ever been.
That's funny. You was more nervous for grappling than striking.
Yeah, because in striking, like, you know you're gonna strike, so you do get the nerves, but I back myself more. I'm confident. I'm more confident in myself with my skills, what I can do. So it was like, I remember I turned up at this jiu-jitsu tournament, and I remember I'm in like the heavier weight bracket, and I'm seeing like all the bracket stuff. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm gonna have to do 3 bouts. Like, I'm up for it, but it's a bit nerve-wracking. Like, I'm seeing guys, like, as I'm walking, oh, good to see you again. Like, the last competition was so great. I'm thinking, oh, these guys will know each other, man. I'm just here, some first-time novice. And then I remember I go to the coach at the time. I was like, coach, these guys look flipping big.
Who's the coach?
So Fabrizio at the time.
Okay.
So Coach Fabrizio, I was like, coach, these guys look big. And his face, he's like, what do you mean these guys look big? Look at the size of you. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, I've never always been big, so I kind of forget that I'm quite tall, quite big. And I remember I was like, all right, yeah, these guys not big, I'm gonna be cool. First fight, I see a guy do a flying armbar, submitted him like 5 seconds. I thought, fucking hell, I'm finished. And I was like, you know what, Mike, you have nothing to lose. Just go in there, just try and listen to coach. Whatever he says, you do it. And then, yeah, and literally first bout happened. I just heard my coach's voice. He has a strong Italian accent, and he can hear him out of 100 people. And I was like, yeah, just listen to him. He's not gonna tell you anything wrong. And I just did it. Got the first bout, got a submission. I was like, cool, that was pretty good. That was pretty decent. Second round I was like feeling a bit more confident. Won that again. I was like, I'm in the final now. Like, didn't expect that. And then, yeah, the final, I was like, yeah, I might as well, I'm not going to come this far just to come second. So
spoiler alert, you got the gold medal in this one.
Yeah, got the final. Went to I forgot what it's called. So at the end, when it's like a stalemate after like the time, you do a sudden death. It was like sudden death. So I escaped his back, and then I had his back, and I submitted him. Oh,
it was like a EBI rules type thing. So you start in positions.
Yeah,
like added overtime. Yeah,
overtime. Yeah, so it's overtime. So you either go from armbar, take the back, and I was like, I'm taking the back.
That's cool. Yeah. First tournament as well, doing like EBI rules. That's quite cool.
First tournament, first and only. Probably, I mean, could be another one. Maybe coming back. The itch is there.
Dusting off the white belt, get back in there.
Get back into it. Because I came to jiu-jitsu a couple times since. I was like, I do miss it. It's just where I've been so active from like amateurs to pro and striking K1. It's been like camp.
That's cool.
So it's hard to like, when you're training like twice a day, it's hard to fit in like those little pockets of time for jiu-jitsu.
Well, maybe we'll have a chat. Maybe we'll have a bit of a trade-off. We'll do some jiu-jitsu and K1 trade-off.
Yeah,
and the other thing that I was thinking of when you were saying that is like, you do K1, right? Not Muay Thai. So how's that come about instead of Muay Thai?
So that's the thing. So
or is that just like you fell into that as well?
Yeah, so when I did my second interclub, it was at JCC gym, and Victor was like, yeah, it's gonna be Muay Thai. And I was like, what's Muay Thai? I didn't know what, so obviously I knew what kickboxing was. But I've always heard like Muay Thai be called as Thai boxing. So I was like, is that what people in Thailand call kickboxing? That's Muay Thai. He's like, oh, that's with the elbows and stuff. You're gonna do K1. And I was like, so I thought kickboxing like like show him how well I was.
Well, at least he told you, because a lot of coaches would have gone, Dave, go on, you're all right, go on.
Yeah, so I was like, what's the difference? So I knew what Muay Thai was, but I thought all came under the term kickboxing.
Right.
So I thought if it's just standing up, it's kickboxing. If it's including grappling, that's MMA. Or if it's just grappling, Jiu Jitsu, wrestling. So when he broke it down, it's like, no, K1, there's no extended clinch. It's one knee, you let go. You can't catch and sweep on certain rules. With Muay Thai, there's elbows and clinch. I was like, so what am I going to do for the interclub? He's like, because obviously where the classes we doing it even on come under the bracket Muay Thai, I thought I'm going to do Muay Thai. He's like, no, you're going to do K1. I was like, what's that? He's like, he broke it down. I was like, all right, cool. That's all right. And then I started doing my own research. So that's just me. When I get into something, I was like, K1, watching all these fights, like K1 days, like all the Badaharis and Bonjaskis and all these guys. I'm like, right, okay. So I went back and I was like, this looks sick. And then that's when I actually found out like you can get into just as a kickboxing as a sport. So I have a career in just kickboxing, because I always thought it's just like a transition into MMA that people did. So when people like for example, like Ruben, for example, I was like, oh, do you do MMA? He's like, no, I just do kickboxing. I was like, you can do that? He's like, yeah, you can be a kickboxer. So that's the thing. Before coming into it, I did have no knowledge. Like, I was one of those guys who'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do UFC, talking about doing MMA. Do you know what I mean? Until he's like, oh, you learn your knowledge. Like, UFC is the company, the sport is MMA. So yeah, got into K1 because when I did my research, I was like, okay, K1's cool. I prefer it. Like, I prefer to watch it. I prefer the pace. I prefer the style. Bit more aggressive, more shots. Is back and forth. Muay Thai is I would probably say Muay Thai is more technical, but it's a bit too slow for me.
Really?
Just a bit too slow. But I do train. I've sparred Muay Thai guys, and I say I like the benefit of training with guys, because when you get tied up in the clinch and you don't know what to do, you like have to figure a way out. And it's helped me in some of my K1 fights as well. When they come close, just quickly tie them up. Like, ref, break, thank you, reset. These little tricks that you kind of add. So, and I feel like as a fighter, you can take inspiration, skills from any sport. Like even though going back to Usyk, he trains wrestling.
Does, yeah. You've seen the videos. And when I say trains wrestling, when you say trains wrestling, like, he actually puts the singlet on and the boots. He trains.
Training wrestling, taking guys down, like flipping them, double legging. Because it helps with boxing.
I believe in, martial arts help martial arts, you know what I mean? Not directly, like, obviously if you want to be a good K1 fighter, I'm not going to tell you to go Jiu Jitsu class, but there's elements if you're already doing K1 where, like, you're grabbing a body, do you know what I mean? And there's elements. That night, Battle of Battersea, I don't know if it was your fight or Ruben's, they kept stopping it not stopping it, but there was elements of that one of the opponents was moaning because of the holding, right? Yeah. Was that yours or was that Ruben's?
No, so that was Ruben's, right? Fight. Yeah, so, because that's the thing with kickboxing abroad as well, like, different organizations have different rule set. So, for example, like in Glory, you can clinch for 5 seconds. Right. But it's like, it has to be active. You can't just hold. You have to like hold.
You can hold with one arm for the knee and stuff, right?
Yeah, let go and go again. Yeah. Some places you can't grab at all. Right. So I feel like where the opponent's probably fought in other shows, he's probably he's probably been used to another skill set. And I think he comes from a Muay Thai background as well. So it's like usually it's clinch, strike, let go. Or one hand, strike, let go. It was a good fight, that one as well. Ruben took over the last 3 rounds, I think. I think Ruben started to take over. Yeah, with that fight, I told Ruben as well, because I feel like as teammates, you coach, I consider him a teammate / coach. So he gives me all the feedback and he wants the same. I'll just be honest, I was like, I feel like you definitely won round 1. Round 2 was KG. You took too many low kicks. He's like, yeah. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah, I was like, bit too much low kicks, but the rest of the rounds was fine. But it's something about when your teammates fight, those 3 minutes feel like eternity. Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that as well. That's what I was, because when I was watching it live, there's the second round, the leg kicks were coming in, and I started to go, oh, this might be going south here. But he seemed like he shook it off like nothing happened. Yeah, because like leg kicks, for anyone who hasn't took a leg kick, go and get one of them. They're fun. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, get kicked in the leg. But he recovered. He seemed like it was like no issue, right? Like the leg kicks in the second round seemed like they was working, but then all of a sudden it seemed like he just shook it off and got on with business. I think that's credit to his poker face. You know what I mean? Like, it's fighting like both guys were hurting each other in different ways, but you can't show it because on fight day, I feel like the biggest thing that can dictate the outcome, let's say, is how confident you are. Right. It comes down to skill set as well, but if you have 2 guys who are equally as skilled, same size, same height, same weight, they both weigh in the same, it's going to come down to who wants it more, who can show their skill case more in a way the other guy can't. And I feel like with Ruben, one thing I do credit him on is his poker face. Like, I spar him week in, week out, multiple times a week, and I feel like even when I'm doing what I'm like, is this working? Like he'll make you second guess yourself in the moment, and you have to tell yourself, no, carry on, do what you're doing. It's working. But if he gets in your mind, if someone can get in your mind and manipulate how you feel, it can change the course of a fight.
Yeah, and it works both ways too, right? Because some people fuck around with you and pull faces, don't they? Like the first, I mean, I did Muay Thai as a little kid, but like my first, like I really competed and took serious was boxing as an amateur, and that was one of the things. There was a guy, David Khan, shout out David, if there's a find you, mate. He's the coach's son. He was a lot older than me, and he's like. He'd stopped boxing at this point, do you know what I mean? But I was like, whatever, I was late teens, whatever. And I remember looking at him and thinking, yeah, this is all right, this will be an easier round, do you know what I mean? But he was doing that. He was doing the exact poker face. And then every now and then he'd kind of pull just a silly face. Like, not like poking his tongue out at me like a silly face, but, you know, like do something with his face and you go, what's that? And then he'd catch you with a jab and you go, fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true, because, like, I feel like one thing... Like even on fight days, like before a fight, when the ref brings you both in and you both look into each other's eyes. I remember when I fought for, it was a Pro-Am title in Birmingham, and I remember going into this fight. I had a few opponent changes. The guy's name was Watson Clark. Very big up Watson Clark.
Shout out Big Watson.
Yeah, he came from Scotland on like 2-3 weeks notice. I remember I had like 3 opponent changes before him. And he just took it, and I was like...
From Scotland down to London?
Yeah. No, it was in Birmingham, so from Scotland to Birmingham.
Still a hell of a long way.
Still a long way.
Brave man, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I was thinking, okay, I remember seeing these tall, he's long, he's southpaw. I was like, okay, tall, I fought tall guys, southpaw.
But you're tall, I taught you.
I'm 6'3".
I was going to say, you're
6'3",
tall.
6'4". But yeah, he was tall, and I was like, no, it wasn't like, watching it, I was like, it's nothing I haven't seen before. Like, he's a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like, I felt like I was confident I could do it. I remember, we get to the fight day now, and we look into each other's eyes. And usually, up until this point, every time I looked into my opponent's eyes, I see like a little twitch, and I'm like, oh, they're not really confident. Right? It's like they're not really backing themselves. And that kind of gave me a bit more confidence. Like, okay, I can do this. I remember when I looked into this guy's eyes, it was ice cold. And I remember I looked into his eyes, and I was like, nah, he feels he can really beat me.
He's here till the end.
He's here to, like, he's willing to fall on his sword. I remember walked back to my corner and I was like, okay, Michael, you're in for this is going to be a tough one. And in that moment, I was like, don't second guess yourself, because you're tough as well. But I remember went 4-5 rounds. I remember at the end of the fight, I was thinking, don't know if I got this one. It was close. I got the win, thankfully. It was a good performance. Looking back when I watched it, I was like, yeah, confident I got the win. I think it was fair decision, but it was a good fight, and he did push me. I remember at the end, he got my hand right. I went to him straight away. I was like, thank you for taking the fight on such short notice. I was like, you are a beast. I was like, that was serious. And I remember thinking, like, everyone asked me, how was it? I was like, he was ice cold. He was ready for war. And it was a good, very, very good fight.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's interesting you say that, and there's because I had a similar conversation. I'll put the links to all the guys we're talking about, the ones that are around this weight division. All the links will be in the description below, guys. So the episodes go and see what they say. But there's another guy, Derek a lot. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. He's been on the podcast too. Another shout out, Derek. I can't remember wording it, so that's why I'm trying to keep it vague. And I say I'll post it below. But he had a similar conversation, something along those lines of like the mindset and looking into his opponent's eyes.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's interesting to hear people talk like that, because the one that sticks out, you can't really see it from outside the ring, right? If we're sitting in a crowd and you're fighting someone, you're looking in his eyes, so you can get the real sense of it. But where I've noticed it from experience massively is in changing rooms. I don't know if you've ever felt that. Like where you're in a change room and someone's too nervous. And I'm almost like, I need you to stay the fuck away, like a disease, like you're going to cough on
contagious.
Me. Like, stay the fuck over there,
it's
you know what I mean?
It is contagious, yeah. I've been in, like I said, I've had a few fights now, and I've been in change rooms. I'm like, looking around, like, you see some guys, like, I feel like the biggest tell when someone's nervous is when let's say on a main card, right? Someone's quite late on in the show. If they're warming up for like 3 hours, it's because they're nervous.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when you see someone warming up for so long, it's because they're second guessing them. So they want to be like, oh, I need to make sure that last jab I thrown was perfect, that last kick. And you have to tell yourself, like, you're not going to get any better in the space of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Or maybe you are, and do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm missing out, but I feel like you go and change room, I'll be like to my team, like, yo, this guy's been warming up for like an hour, you know?
He's exhausted,
Yeah, it's like, it's only the second fight, the guy's been warming up, he's after me. Like, I've heard him say he's fight 14, I'm fight 15, like, I'm chilling right now.
Yeah. You should be, yeah.
You should be chilling, he's warming up. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff I've seen guys spar in changing rooms, like full-on sparring to warm up. I've seen guys literally just sitting in the corner, like they've just seen a ghost.
Yeah.
And different things for different people.
Talking too much is one tell, I think. Like, not talking too much, because like some people are upbeat, and like that wasn't my personality.
Projecting.
But like some people are asking too many questions, and it's like, you're not in the right place tonight, are you? Do you know what I mean? You're in a bad spot.
Where people be chilling, like, you don't have to be nervous. You're okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like even in Battle of Battersea, I'm just chilling, waiting, like to get my hand wraps. People come and say, it's like, you're gonna do fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I hope so. It's like, how do you feel? I was like, good. It's like, not nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm good. How do you feel? It's like, and they freeze. They're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna do great. I'm like, good luck.
Sounds right. Yeah, sounds about right.
But you just have, I say on fight day, like you just have to tell yourself, like if you know you've put in the work is done. Just stay relaxed, stay calm. Just do what you've always done. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the thing I feel like I've learned as I've progressed.
Well, you're always going to be nervous, I think, right? It's the issue, it's experience. You know you're going to be nervous,
I feel
so
like
you accept
nerves
it.
is a good thing.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, 100%.
I feel like you need those butterflies.
Yeah.
You need that little weird feeling in your stomach. You have to, because you have to tell yourself, you have to know that you're going into a fight.
Yeah.
It's a sanctioned fight. You could be rendered unconscious at any point. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand the stakes. I feel like when guys are too relaxed, too calm, that's when it can go wrong. You don't want to be too nervous when you're fighting, but you have to be locked in, as I say, like, you know the situation you're getting into. But I feel like at the end of the day, you have to tell yourself is that, from what I've seen, is I'm yet to face someone where I've felt out of place, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, I've won and I've lost, but in all my fights, I felt it's been competitive.
Yeah, and also it's what the nerves are for. You're not scared of getting kicked and punched. That's what you do. It's the occasion, isn't it? You don't want to lose.
Yourself,
it's like,
people come to see me. Am I going to let them down? What are people going to think after? And that's the thing. I went through that a lot at the start of the year. It was like, because so going on to say about the losses, I had 2 back-to-back losses. So I lost in December of 2024, and I lost in February of this year. And it was like back-to-back 2 good opponents. I remember thinking, like, in between, I was thinking, I can't lose again. I cannot lose again. I cannot lose again. And just telling myself that non-stop. Then you just kind of like, you even like project it. You'd be sitting, I'd be like to my friend, like, oh, if I lost again, what would you think of me? They're like, what would it care, bro?
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like, oh. They're like, why? What would you think? I'm like, nah. Like, I've seen my teammates lose twice, or seen teammates get knocked out, people I care about lost. You just have to tell yourself that the people who really support you, they're not really there to see you win. They're there to support you. They're just there to, they've seen the effort you put in, they're happy for you. If you win, it's great. If you lose, they'll still come again. I remember I lost in December, I told my friends, I'm sorry. They're like, why are you sorry? I was like, I lost. They're like, so what? They was like, we paid to come and see you regardless. Like, we've seen 10 other sick fights and we come to see you.
Yep.
It's like, it is what it is. And it's funny because I lost in December and that really hit me hard. I was like, I was down because I didn't perform well.
And these are pro fights, obviously.
This is pro fight. So I remember thinking, like, what made me upset? It's not that I lost. I was upset that I lost, but it was that I know I didn't perform well. I didn't fight at my best. Like, you beat me on the day, and I know I fought at my best.
And that's what niggles you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like,
for sure.
Fair enough. Like, the best man won. Maybe the next time I'll win. Do you know what I'm saying? But with this one, I was like, I know I didn't perform well. And it's like, I was upset. It's like, this is people think I'm the level. This is what people are going to think my level is. I was like, nah, I can't have that. That's why in the second time round, I was like, need to show them. And I lost again, but if you see the reaction after, I wouldn't say I was happy, but I took it on the chin. It was like,
because you did what you could.
I did what I could.
Right.
I fought a very well-seasoned opponent, and it was like, and I knew him going into it, and I was like, okay, I know this is going to be a tough bout, but I'm going to train hard like I always do, fight my best. And I remember at the end of that fight, one of his coaches came to me, he's like, Micah, you've come so far. And I was like, rah, like, for you to say that as the winning side, that meant so much. So it's like, let's say with like wins and losses are important. You take them, you learn from them, but it's not the be all and end all. Yeah. Because it's like my coach David says, like, you don't get nervous for how you're gonna fight. You know you can fight. You know you can take a punch, you can throw a punch, you can take a kick. You're worrying about how you're gonna perform, what are people gonna say. But at the end of the day, the people who really and genuinely care about you, as long as you fight well and you do your best, they're always going to support you. And I've come to realize that more this year. Was like the right people around me. I'm in a good circle. It's like that's why I go into fights now. I'm much more confident because like, that pressure you put on yourself, like, oh, I need to make them proud. You already done that. So like, yeah, that's ticked off. Just do your thing. And yeah.
That's interesting. Where are you from originally? You from this way?
Yes,
you're Battersea boy.
No, so I grew up in Streatham. So
Streatham, okay,
South London.
I got you.
My nan lives Wandsworth Road, so
yeah. Oh, okay.
Local,
Yeah. Local boy. Yeah. I was going to say, I was just about to, I caught myself, I was about to say, oh, maybe we know, and then I just realised how much younger than you are. Or older than me, never mind, there you go. But like, it's funny, but like, does Victor still spar? Do you still get into with Victor?
Every now and then, he more coaches us now.
Yeah, because I got a funny story with Victor. Me and Victor, he remembers this because we spoke about it when we did our podcast, and he was, like, I did a private with him years ago, just boxing, I hadn't even started grappling yet, and you know, I'm doing in the old archway, and we were chatting away and blah, blah, and he was doing it, and he went to me at one point during the session, he's holding pads, right, and he went to me, he said, yeah, you like to brawl and come forward, huh? And he sort of turned around, took the pads off and went back to the corner. Now, I'm assuming he's about to get some noodles out and make me try and be a bit more slick and whatever. But whatever, I look over, he's fucking Vaseline in his face, this lunatic, and putting a gum shield in. Came out and had a tear up with me. So like, that's always a fun one.
That old school Mexican style, come forward,
exactly,
strong shots, he does love that.
Yeah.
Every now and then he'll spar, but I think he just more leaves
Brilliant guy,
now.
Victor. Great. He had me at the Battle of Battersea. He gave me the whole like access all area issue, and so always grateful to Victor. But like with training and stuff now, I'm assuming like, are you a full-time pro or do you work as well?
So I still work. Benefit with my job where I'm very flexible in my role. So it's like hybrid work. So work from home, sometimes in the office.
Okay. What'd you do?
So I'm work in private healthcare.
Okay.
So like case management. So during the day working, and then after work come here.
Very good.
Training. Try to get as much hours in. Nice.
And what's a training session look like? I'm sorry, not a training session. I mean, what does training look like for you? Are you training year round, every day? Are you one of them guys?
Yeah, I'll say in terms of a week, I would say twice a day. Yeah, twice a day, one rest day.
Yeah, so you are, full time. What I'm saying is that, and it's dying out now. Everyone else nowadays doesn't do it. But like, you know, like back in the day, like people used to have like a fight, they have 2 months off. Like them days are gone, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, so here's the thing, like I've had crazy experiences where I will have a fight on a Saturday, and then, so like I said, that fight with Watson Clark when I was on the way to Birmingham, that was on like a September, like the last Saturday of September last year. I remember I'm on Instagram on the way to the fight, and I refreshed my feed, and I just see my face pop up on MTGP, and I was like,
you're right again.
I looked back, I looked at Tom in the back, looked at Victor, they were just supposed to start smiling. I said, what's this? He's like, yeah, you're fighting in 2 weeks. And I was like, sick. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, cool, just got to get through this one without having too much injuries, right back at it. So, yeah, I feel like for me, I like to stay more or less fight.
But that comes back to the psychological thing, right?
Yeah.
Because fighting 2 weeks on, physically you can do that, right? It's not easy.
It's not easy.
If you've been bashed up, it depends how the fight goes, right? But in terms of whatever, you can fight 2 weeks later, but it's more like the stress of having to think.
Yeah, I was more worried. I was more thinking about the weight cut.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
I was like, another weight cut in 2 weeks. I was like, I can do it.
Yeah. Oh, right. I got you.
I can do it, but we'll see how it goes. But
and how much you weigh now, sitting here with me, or is it a secret?
No, it's not. I weigh about 87.
87.
Yeah, I'm very open with my weight.
And you're fairly lean at 87, aren't you?
Yeah. So I don't walk around with a lot of fat, but I try to stay healthy year round, watching what I eat. Obviously, you have a bit of here and there treats when you're not in full camp mode.
Yeah.
I feel like you need that as well. You need that balance just to keep your
mind right. For the psychological thing, I think. Yeah, I do.
They'll count calories till they're crazy.
Yeah, and also we all know them guys that are sort of maybe not in martial arts gyms as much, but in martial arts gyms, but not necessarily guys that fight. But like, there's guys that they've got all the supplements, all the gear, they do everything perfect. They sleep at 8 o'clock, they never go out, they don't do this, they don't do that, but they're not that good.
And they're miserable.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's why I think that's why they're not that good.
Yeah, and they're miserable because I've seen it all. Like people, I've seen this new supplement, this new trend, or I'm doing intermittent fasting.
How much are you going to help me? I'm actually, intermittent fasting. I'm actually on a 3-day fast at the moment. So
how's it going?
Shit on me. Go on, tell me how stupid I am.
Going?
I mean, it ain't the easiest thing in the world, but like, I mean, I'm sitting and drinking water. Obviously, I drink water with it and stuff. But I've done it multiple times. I've done it sort of, probably this is my 6th or 7th time doing it for 3 days. And I'm potentially, same weight the whole time. Don't lose weight, don't gain weight, all that kind of stuff. You lose a kilo, whatever.
Yeah.
But I find if I'm busy, like now doing it, I'm just training like normal, same as you, twice a day. I do my normal routine and get on with it. Because I think for 3 days, you're all right. Your body, you've just got stores.
Yeah, I feel like with those things, these trends, they are good. There is probably a health benefit outside, for example.
But sorry, just one before, because I've done it once where I decided I'm going to take myself off to the country and I'm going to chill out. It's the worst one. It's the hardest because I've got nothing to do. I like to train. Do you know what I mean? If I'm not training, I'm going mad anyway. So for me, with the training side of it, your body gets on with it. So I think there's an element of that with it.
Yeah, and I feel like I said, there is a benefit like, with these, like, for example, like fasting trends and different type of that. There is probably a benefit, but I feel like with fighting, it's so specific in what you need. because it can go wrong.
Yep.
Like, I wouldn't recommend anyone who's fighting to do intermittent fasting to make weight, for example.
No, fuck no.
Because you're going to train, you're going to be fucked, like, with no energy.
And you're also not going to lose that much weight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Your body, like, the thing is, people need to understand, we're not supposed to cut weight like this.
No.
It's like 6 weeks of strict dieting, and then the last week you're cutting out carbs, and you're jumping in a sauna or a bath, and you're swearing out passively.
Yeah.
It's not technically good for the body. We do it because it's the sport, and there's safer ways to do it that we all would recommend. But overall, it's probably not ideal.
But it goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's like, how far do you go?
Yeah.
It's healthy enough if you do it the right way.
Exactly.
Like,
and
you know what I mean?
I feel like is the juice worth the squeeze? For some people, they're willing to go to the extreme of extremes to do it, to make it.
I've always found that weird.
And for me, I don't, like I said, I'm a fighter, but that's not all I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do what I can. I'll push my limits. Like I said, I train hard. I never miss weight, always on weight. I'm disciplined with my food, but at the same time, it's like, there is a time when you can have that treat.
Yeah.
You're not going to train 3 times a day all year round. You're going to run yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
That's the thing as well I've come to realize this year is like, training hard is good, and that's probably necessary, and it's ideal to be the best you can be, but you have to recover better.
But here's the thing as well. I think you need to go through periods, and it took me a long time to realize this. I think you need to go through periods where your training is more practice.
Yes.
So like me and you can train twice a day all year round, but sometimes we're not kicking shit out of each other. Do you know what I mean? We're playing, and at the end of it, you feel like you got more in the tank. Whereas like if you've got a fight coming, this is not fucking rocket science, right? If you've got a fight coming for 6 weeks, you're training like a lunatic. You're overtraining, really, but like you got to.
But you have to hit your peak, and that's when the trust and the coaches know. Because I feel like as a fighter, your role is just. I always say 2 things as a fighter. You only have 2 things you have to do: is train hard and make weight. That's the only professional aspect. Wins and losses, you don't have to win. You should aim to win, but it's not mandatory. I feel like it's mandatory that you train hard every day, every session. You train hard, put your 100% in, and you make weight. Just be professional. It's up to your coaches and your team around you to be like, okay, you're pushing too hard. Okay, you're peaking too early. Bring it back. That's where you have to have the trust in the circle. I feel like, and that's when you're in camp. Outside of camp, if you don't have any, like, for example, people ask me, when's your next fight? And I'm saying, I don't really know. They're like, so what's training like for you? So I'm just trying to learn new things, get better.
That is when you get better as well.
Exactly.
That is when you get better.
I'm not doing anything crazy where I'm torturing my body no, I'm just training every day, turning up, having my mind open to new techniques, how I can improve as a fighter. So the next time round, because I don't feel like you get better in camp.
No.
In camp is when you're refining your skills. Outside of camp is when you learn new things.
In camp, you get better at what you're good at,
yes,
right?
You
get sharper. You're ready because you
get
like
fight ready. Just get fight ready.
Exactly.
You sharpen your tools.
Exactly. You said it best.
You get fight ready, sharpen your tools, and then in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, however long, okay, it's fight time. And after that, take a bit of rest, let the body heal. It's like, okay, where can we improve?
And training's more playful, isn't it? So that's when
100%.
you get better. But like for you at 24, you said you're 24 now. Like
24.
To have that mindset then is very mature, because like a lot of guys at 24, 28 are still treating their body like a stock car and smashing it into the wall.
That's the thing. Like, as much as I've only been in fighting for 3 years, I've seen a lot of people, whether it's online, in person. I'm just like, I've seen a lot of things that I've tried to take on board and a lot of things I've tried to avoid. So like, going to certain places or certain people that they only spar hard. It's just sparring hard, non-stop, every day. It's like, there's probably a benefit in it. It's like, you can become tough or you're ready for a fight, but
I think you limit your gains. You
stay
stay
that
level.
Your gains, not even that. It's like, in 20 years' time, at some point, you can't fight forever.
There you go.
In 20 years' time, are you going to be able to raise your hand to put a fork to your mouth?
That's
Do you know what I mean? Like, and these people say, you think too far ahead. And I'm like, is it really though?
Man,
it's like, that's one of the benefits I have coming into the game late. Is that I've seen all the stories about combat sports and concussions here and that. And it's like, all right, I understand the game. Like, there's a risk every time you step into a ring. But it's like, get in, get out as safe as possible. Try to fulfill all your dreams as much as time. But I would say, is that what they say? Is that retire from the game? Don't let it retire you.
It's true. It's funny you say that, and not to make this about me. We've been talking to you, but like, I'm at an age where people my age are starting to say to me like, I can't do what I used to do. I don't recover the way I used to. I don't experience any of that. I'm like, because part of it is, listen, I'm not I'm trying to pat myself on the back, I'll be a saint. I don't drink and I train all year round. Simple as that, right? I eat as good as I can. And the reason is, I don't mean that like I'm trying to be some monk. It's just, this is what I like to do, right?
Exactly.
So like, when it's fun and also like, not stressing yourself with the weight, like you said. Like I had a fight when I was young. I was probably boxing. We're talking about. I would have been 19-ish sort of age, maybe 18 still. I don't know. But I had a bout where I really lost a lot of weight, tried to get down to a lower weight division.
Same day? 'Cause boxing,
same day, yeah,
that's
same day. I mean, same day. It was about half hour before the bout, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm exaggerating, right? It was probably an hour and a half, but like I was second bout on. That's why I said it was close.
That's the thing, even with boxing, like with the benefit of K1 and Muay Thai, you can get those day before weigh-ins.
That's a massive difference.
Yeah, it's
huge difference.
Big difference. Whereas same day,
you're getting in the ring basically what you're weighing in, which is where I fucked it, because back in the day, and not to bore people with the details of it, but like certain, I think the Olympic years, not that I was at the Olympics, but Olympic years affected the weight divisions.
Yeah,
so sometimes there was less. Sometimes it was 71, which at the time, being that young, I could make. It was tough, but I could make. The next one, if it wasn't there, was either 75 or 69.
Yeah.
So 69, I couldn't do.
Yourself,
I was killing myself. And well, that was the story. I got on the scales at 69.8. Now, in fairness, if I had a nutritionist or something, I knew what I was doing, I could have made it. But I was just starving myself, like what we said, and not drinking. Anyway, that night I ended up fighting at 75 anyway and winning. So it was like, and I felt terrible. Like it was like, I'm never doing this again. Do you know what I mean? Why am I doing it?
You have to listen to your body, because you only got one body, one life.
Well, also, I'd rather fight a bigger guy feeling good than feeling shit fighting someone smaller.
Exactly, and people need to. You can't like overestimate size, like whether they're bigger or smaller, because if you're fucked and you fight someone smaller, okay, they're gonna light you up same way.
Speed is a killer, right?
Yes, exactly. They'll find shots you can't even see.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just have to. I feel like with this game, you just have to be mindful of everything you do. Like,
and also, listen, if you come in here and you feel fresh and they feel fresh and you're sparring with someone who's a bit lighter than you, that ain't no picnic, is it? They can still fucking go.
My main sparring partner is my teammate Tom. He's smaller than me by a fair amount, and it's not easy sparring him.
Because here's I've said this on here a million times. It's like when I've sparred with heavyweights in the past boxing.
Yeah.
I'm only sparring 2 or 3 rounds with them. So for 2 or 3 rounds, trust me, it's easier. It's harder to spar with a lightweight guy because they're fast.
They're faster.
Because for 2 or 3 rounds, they can keep that pace.
That's what I'm saying. And
we're not talking 10 rounds. Now I'm plodding. Now you've got a fucking giant in front. It's different. But like for short rounds, advantage to the smaller guy, I'd say.
Exactly. That's my thing. Is like I said, going back to my teammate Tom, like he's my close. Probably since I started, we've been training together. He does everything I do.
Right.
So he's just as fit, just does all the same technique. So it's just fighting someone who's smaller than you.
And how big is he? What sort of weight is he?
He fights at 63.
So massively smaller than you.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like 14 kilos difference.
And he's still giving you a headache, yeah.
Of course, like we give each other work.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so that's when I hear like people say, oh yeah, but he's much bigger than him. I'm like, yeah, size is a factor, but like I said, going back, it comes down to skill as well. It's how you can use your skill.
That's it, yeah.
If you're smart enough, you can negate that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, and I think people miss that, don't they? Because like everyone likes to say like, oh, jab's the most important punch, speed kills, all these like great quotes, but people sort of say it without realising what they're saying.
Yeah, that's it. And it depends on what works for you. Like jab could be a great punch for someone, but someone's cross could be better.
Right.
Or someone's
exactly.
Or K1, they might you need to have strong hands.
Yeah.
But then what about strong kicks?
Yeah. What if I kick you in the face every time it knocks you out?
Yeah, it's like, oh well, the way to stop her knees with her overhand, or do you know what I mean? There's so many ins and outs.
You got to be careful with like the stereotypical saying, like for example, fighting a southpaw, you must move this way.
Yeah, that's a big one.
There's advantages to move that way, of course, but at the same time, if you're ready for what's coming, move the danger zone the other way.
So
there's advantages to that.
In my career so far, I fought 3 different southpaws, and
have you?
Yeah.
That's funny, isn't it?
And they've all been different.
Yeah.
So first southpaw was a shorter guy. This was an N-class Muay Thai bout. Basically still kind of like Ami K1. So much different in the footwork. Second guy was Watson Clark. Tough, comes forward, do you know what I mean? Third guy was earlier this year, southpaw, but didn't really make a difference at that point. Maybe that's the experience, but like I was told when you fight a southpaw, you have to lead with the backhand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you do, it helps because it's in line, but it depends on who you're fighting, how they fight. You have to adapt it.
Well, some people, especially American-style boxing specific, maybe it's different in K1, but a lot of them, not a lot, I can't speak for all of them, but certain Americans I've spoke to will argue that the left hook is better for a southpaw anyway.
That's what I feel. I feel when I spar southpaws, I trust in my lead hand.
Yeah.
It's more of like the footwork where you are positioning, but I feel like the lead hand helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because you can get around theirs.
Yeah. And body type plays a part too,
Of course.
because like what you touched on there, if you're fighting someone, they can have the exact same style, if you like, but one's short and stocky and one's tall and gangly.
Yeah.
It's a different puzzle, isn't it? You know what I
And
mean?
that's what people say as well. And they're like, oh, when you fight, like, what do you prefer? Someone tall or someone short? And I'm like, depends. Like, you get all sorts. You get really short guys who just are like a tank.
But that's another interesting point because people will say tall guys got the advantage, which he's got obvious advantages. But like for my weight division when I was boxing, I would be short to my opponents most of the time. Not always, not extremely, but I would so I used to enjoy fighting taller people.
Depends. Like, I've fought guys taller than me, shorter than me.
Taller than you at that weight class?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I fought 2 guys taller than me. One was easier than the other because they both came with different things.
That's interesting.
And then I fought guys shorter than me. And again, no fight's ever been the same.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to go with them people too, because I had on the other day Erasmus, shout out Erasmus Greenwood. He's an MMA fighter, GB top team. He's been on twice. He's a great guy, great character, brilliant. And he's 6'6", and he fights at 84. But when he turns pro, he's talking about fighting at 77. And he's like, and I said to him, really, why? And he's like, easy. You know, he's got a thing.
Arms, yeah.
I've never trained with him. I'm hoping I'll get some sparring in with him at some point, because just the puzzle of it, right? Do you know what I mean? In terms of like, that's a very unique problem, having someone who's 6'6" and can fight at 77 kilos, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I mean, if you can make the weight, go for it.
He said easy. He's looking at me like, yeah, no problem. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You do get like weird like anomalies, let's say, where you get someone really tall and thin and they're super light, and you're like, how the hell do you make 66?
Yeah, and also the other way, I mean, it's not so relevant in striking. It happens, but like there's more sort of wrestlers and grapplers that are short and stocky to an extreme.
Yeah.
But like some guys, I've done a sparring with people many a times that are like, I mean, saying they're 5'5", being kind to them, and they're like heavier than me. Do you know what I mean?
It's like, that's it. I've known guys who are taller than me saying they fight at like 67.
And it's hard work, man.
And I'm like, what? How the hell do you make 60? Like, I weigh in at 77, and I walk around at 75. I'm like, so on the day I'm most depleted, I'm still heavier than you. It's crazy. And I've seen guys up to my chest saying, yeah, I fight at 84. And I'm like, why? They're like, yeah, I can't lose any more weight. And I'm like,
that's interesting.
It's so... Like, there's no one body type,
there's
no one weight division. There's no one way, like.
And I think fighting more than any other sport is like the body type doesn't matter. You can make it work. Whereas like if you're a short, stocky tennis player, I don't know much about tennis, but I'm assuming you're not going to win Wimbledon. Do you know what I mean?
With fighters, you get an array of.
You can make it work for you, can't you?
Yeah, like you look at the heavyweights. Like,
Mike Tyson's comes to mind, right?
Saying, like even like kickboxing side, you get guys looking like 125 kilos.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they step foot in the gym in the day of their life.
Right.
They're lasting 5 rounds, putting on a mad pace.
Well, I think a lot of that is efficiency too,
of
right?
course,
you're so good at it, you don't have to expend much energy.
That's the thing, how they use their body, how they train. It's like, for example, going like to MMA, like Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
Even like Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I remember there was debate, how do these guys...
Tyson Fury's a mad one.
It's like, how is he so big? And they say he's so big and so fast. So how is he able to do the round? They're like, yeah, well, you have to think like this. If you've got a really tall, big, conditioned man, he's just wearing a lot of padding. He probably doesn't feel in those spots.
Well, that's the thing. Tyson Fury's an anomaly to me. Like,
Yeah,
think about this, right?
anomalies.
And this is not knock. I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan, but like, I feel like I could never train another day in my life and eat whatever I wanted, and I still would never body that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember I was listening to I was listening on Joe Rogan when he was going to make his comeback against John T. Wilder the first time. He said he lost 13 stone in a year to make.
Is that what he lost? Oof.
Well, obviously coming off the couch. Yeah. Battling through depression, drug use,
which is
alcohol
insane.
Use.
By comparison, for anyone listening, that's heavier than you'd fight at.
Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? So you say he lost like 13 stone.
He lost more than you.
He lost more than me as a living, like, you just in fat, and it's just like, it's crazy. But it goes to show, like, if you put the work in, the discipline.
I think he's one of them guys as well that's so mentally tough that, like, that carries him further than his body can.
Like, say what you want about him, he's like cocky, arrogant. He's an amazing boxer.
He's great, yeah.
But to come back from where he was before, on the brink of committing suicide, to come back, get a world championship, fight, defend it, you have to applaud him.
And what he's done, like the first Wilder fight, to your point, that knockdown, like everyone's seen it, everyone knows what you're talking about. But he was like essentially like out. He was out. He was knocked out. He was out.
He was out. Stars.
Yeah, and then he came back and found a way.
And I always said, I feel like he won every single round up until that point.
Yep.
And I feel like after getting knocked down like that, he got up.
Won the rest of the round.
And he's carried on to win the rest of the round.
You can't win the round because he got knocked down like that, but he won. He did, I'm with you.
Just looked like he was putting his hands behind his back after getting knocked down like 30 seconds before.
Unbelievable. He won that fight as well. They gave a draw. So. He won that fight, but I think he was brilliant.
A draw, you know, boxing, politics, where can we make more money?
Yeah,
make
and the American in America might have had something to do with it. Who knows, right? But
defending champion, there you go. We'll do a rematch, make more money for everyone.
There you go. That's the game. But like with you now at 24, right? Like the size you are and stuff. Do you see yourself going up in weight as well?
Probably, yeah. Because I always, like, from my experiences, that even when I've had nutritionists help with the weight cuts to make it easy, and it does help. I would recommend to any fighter out there, if you can get a nutritionist, get it as soon as possible, because it makes life so much easier.
Right.
Because you think you're doing something right on your own, and you realize you've been doing it wrong the whole time.
Right.
So do get a nutritionist, but that doesn't make weight cuts easy still. It's still a process. It's still consistent dieting, and it can get hard. And I feel like as you grow, your body will start to fill out. And I feel like the body rejects it after a while. Like, it does start to hold on to that extra few kilos as you cut more. Because, like, no, we don't really like this. It's not really good for us. So probably, a few years' time, probably go up, make it a bit easier for myself.
But with the weight cut now, like, is it a real struggle for you? Are you okay
Not a real struggle. I'm okay with it.
It's the right level.
Yeah, it's like I said, I have to cut a fair amount, but it's not where I'm like stressing like.
Because there's something to that, I think. Yeah. Like in terms of the suffering is of some benefit. Maybe not physically, but psychologically, I think like it's wartime. Do you know what I'm saying?
You can use, like, if you are mentally strong, you can use it. Like, I tell myself, like, in fight week, when it's like the last week, you have no carbs, you cut those last few kilos, whatever it is, you're just like, this is what my opponent's got me doing right now.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
feeling cold, people are coming in with muffins and this and that. You're literally just trying to stay, like, just trying to relax. You hear someone say, I've had the longest day at work. This person was annoying. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I feel fat from lunch. I'm like, yeah, at least you got to eat.
Yeah, you had lunch. Yeah. What lunch?
Do you know what I'm trying to say? But like I said, these little things, this is when, before I got a nutritionist, like, I would not eat certain meals. I was eating low-calorie foods. You just feel shit.
Yeah.
And then it drives you. You just tell yourself, oh, this is what my opponent's got me going through. When I rehydrate, I feel better. Just going to use it. And you can use it, but, yeah.
To a point, right?
To a point. Yeah, you don't want to, I'm not telling anyone to starve themselves to get themselves mentally ready. No, don't do that. I get a nutritionist.
It's just part of the process. I think there's an element of like, you feel like you're in that zone of like, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Like, if you're a spiritual person, I think your spiritual side grows as well. Because you tell yourself, like, it's like a form of fasting. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have people, I'm not trying to compare it to anyone out there before, but it's like, I know people who train during Ramadan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you not do this? And it's like, bro, I pray. And I just feel that people say sometimes I feel better.
Yeah. Maybe when you see that up close, is something.
I applaud them every time. Like, I have friends that even in school, I remember like doing exams at 35-degree heat. There's like, you know, the usual, oh, can you not even drink water?
Yeah, that's why.
Like, it's like, no, you
can't you just have a little bit? Yeah,
no, a little bit.
When you were at school, that was the thing. Yeah, you go,
like,
what about this?
I was interested. I was like, when fasting, what is it like? Yeah, you only can eat after sundown. Between sunset and sunrise, you can't eat when the sun is up, basically. I'm like, what, not even water? They're like, no. I'm like, how do you not do that? Like, that's crazy.
It's
but
it's
I've even had fighters who are Muslim as well, and they're in camp. And I remember my old coach, Sully, he said one of his fights, he has to do it during Ramadan. And he did it every day, and he told himself he knew he was going to win. He was so confident because this is a way of Allah testing him.
Yep.
He was like, yeah, I'm just going to do it. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to stay, I'm going to pray, I'm going to do everything right, and the blessing will come. And he won a title, I think it was a European title. Yeah. He said he just, on the day, he knew he was going to win. He was so
Battle of Battersea, right? I saw him. I spoke to this man. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know him personally, but I met him. Yeah,
he was on commentary. Yeah, he'll be a great person to have on.
Yeah,
a lot of experience.
Coach Sully, let's go. Man. That box is waiting for you when I kick him off it. But no, I can totally relate. I won't mention his name because he might not want his business, right? But like, I had a coach who was in the middle of like a summertime Ramadan, and like we're talking 9 o'clock in the morning, it's burning sunshine. We turned up to a class, he's doing a private before the class, sweating, like a pig, like sweating like off the chart. Then taught the whole class. I had a private with him straight after, and I know there was at least one more private coming straight after. And this was all gonna finish about 1 o'clock, so I don't know how many hours he's got left. And I remember watching it up close, like, I mean, of course, I've been around people doing Ramadan my whole life, but like, I was in my mid-20s at this point. I remember looking at it thinking, that, you know, that's serious, that's no joke. And then like from that time, like whenever I've trained with guys that are doing it, I won't drink water with them. Not because they probably won't even realise it. But like just out of respect, I go, you know what, you can do that.
It's like, I'm
not drinking water now.
I'm not going to chug a whole bottle of water in your face after doing the same rounds you did. So, I mean, these little things, you just have to be appreciative because it's like, people say like, fighting's hard and how do you do it? I'm like, there's people out there that's going through much worse. Like,
well, that's an interesting point when you say fighting's hard. Fighting seems a lot harder to someone who doesn't want to do it because you know yourself, like you want to do it. You show up on your own accord.
No one's forcing me to fight.
It ain't that difficult, is it?
Like,
do you know what I mean?
I could get up from this box right now and be like, I'm done fighting. And no one can really say, you have to fight.
Right.
I'm choosing to fight.
That's it.
Some people say, why would you choose to fight? But it's a passion, you know what I mean? Everyone's got their own passions, but it's something you choose to do.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's just like, if you choose to do it, just do it right.
Because it's an interesting point, and like, not to sound like too much of giving like trying to have a trendy quote or anything, but like for me, like, listen, life's a lot more hard if I don't get to train because like, listen, this is what, like to what you're saying, this is what we want to do, right?
Yeah, exactly, because like with fighting, there's been a lot of sacrifices that you do have to make if you really want it, if you are going to be committed. Like for me, I've had to miss out going out with friends.
booking holidays, do you know what I mean? Little things like missing dates with like past girlfriend, all of that stuff. These are sacrifices you have to make, but at the end of the day, you do love it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, people are like, well, why though? You have a life to live.
But it's an interesting point, like, is it a sacrifice, really? Do you know what I mean? Because
it is and it
is,
isn't.
but not to you, right?
Yeah,
because, like, you want to do it.
I'll be chilling with my friends watching the football. Like, for example, Chelsea playing Club World Cup the other day. Big up Chelsea, we won. Come on. Every Chelsea.
Question at the end might be a good answer today, guys.
Every trophy under the belt now. But it's just like, I told my friends, like, Ross, it's almost like 11:30, I've got to go. They're like, why? It's like, I've got to run tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've got to wait, I've got to run before work. And they're like, run? I'm like, yeah, man, got to run.
Chris Eubank Sr. talks about this, doesn't he? Like, I can't remember the specifics of the story, but when he was younger, he'd been out till sort of 4 a.m. or whatever, but he still had to run at 6 or whatever it was. I might be getting the times wrong, but it was like that. And he said how terrible he felt. So that was when, like, one of the bits of discipline really kicked in.
I remember going back to my first fight. So when I was working my previous job before this job now, I had to, like, obviously the coach was like, on this day you run, you do your long runs. And I was like, all right, cool. But I was like, I'll start work at 7. Damn, how am I going to get this running? Because I can't do it during the day because I'm at work, and then after training, that's going to be proper. I was like, I have to wake up at 6 and run. Like, I have to wake up at like 5:30, run, come back, shower, make a quick breakfast, in the car to work. I remember people coming like, oh, this morning's been so long, I woke up late. I was like, yeah, I just ran, you know, I mean, 10K in the morning, but is what it is.
No
but I don't
big deal.
ever, like for me, I don't ever use that against someone. Someone's like, oh, I've had such a long, hard day. I'm like, what's happened? I'm not the person to be like, well, I've had to run this morning. What do you mean? It's like, no one's forcing me to do this.
It.
It's like, do you know what I mean?
That's it, man.
I'm choosing to do this.
But it works both ways for me. Like, you know, I know we all do. Loads of people that work a 9-to-5 job. I couldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? That I couldn't manage that. Like that to me is hard. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what's hard really? It's hard to you and it's specific.
Yeah, and it's true. Like with me, like I'm a type of person where I say I work because I have to.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like work is not my passion. Like
listen, don't take it.
Yeah.
Of course, I could sit in an office. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I wouldn't want to. It's hard. That's hard for me.
Yeah, of course. I feel like I have to have a passion. Like I see like some of my colleagues at work, and I'm not saying we're the closest, but it's just like they're just fully into it. I'm like, I'm into it as well. Don't get it twisted. Like, I value the work I have.
I was going to say, careful what you say.
Yeah, no, but I'm trying to say it's just like, work is not my passion.
Yeah, no,
it's my profession.
It's your job, yeah.
It's my profession. This is my passion.
Yeah.
So it's like, I go to work because I have to. I know there's responsibilities I need that's benefit me from this work. But it's like, coming here after, I could go work, then go home after.
Right.
And chill on my sofa,
Right,
watch TV.
Right.
I'm choosing to go from work to here, train, spar, get beat up, get hit in the face, bloody nose, whatever it is, then going home. Then wake up the next day and be like, I'm a bit tired, but it's like, yeah, but Michael, no one told you to do it. Like, sometimes I'm tired, and I tell myself, well, Mike, if you want to stop, stop.
That's it. And you're going to get in the ring alone anyway, right?
Yeah,
so you're the one suffering.
Yeah, I speak to myself all the time, like, well, if you want to stop, Michael, stop. If you really want to stop, just stop. No one's stopping you.
Oh, you're in the talking to yourself crew.
Yeah, I feel like
not just me.
No, you have to. I feel like you. Look, you're with yourself all the time.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? No one knows yourself like yourself. Like, if you want to run, you feel tired, speak to yourself. Like, these little cues, like going into my last fight, if you like go on my Instagram, like, I remember I had like a notebook, and I can't remember the girl's name, but she was a gymnast from America, and she was like, there was like, how are you so confident before your fight? She's like, I knew I was gonna get gold because I wrote it down.
Okay, Simone Biles is this?
Yeah, she said I wrote it down every single day beforehand. I wrote it every time I had a chance. I wrote it down. I'm gonna get gold. By the time I came to the game day, it was just like picking up my medal. So I was like, what do I have to lose? I'm going to probably my biggest fight on Battle of Battersea, Pro English K1 title. I just remember I had this notebook. I was like, I'm going to be English Pro K1 champion. I just wrote it down like over and over and pages on pages. It got so annoying. I was like, this is getting long, but I'm just going to write it down. Just kept doing it. To the time, I remember before walking out, I was like, Tom, I'm going to win this, you know, like this belt's mine. He was like, no doubt. Don't get twisted again, I was still nervous because you are going into a fight, but it just felt like so surreal. It took yourself out of it. It's just you knew it was going to happen. Yeah.
Well, you probably won't remember this, but when you showed up, I just happened to be outside. Someone I knew had fought before and would come outside, and I just happened to be. And you walked out, and me and you sort of locked eyes. You won't remember this because you was in the zone, right? But you looked at me, and you kind of had a. And I remember looking at you thinking, that geezer switched on. I didn't know you at the time, right? I was like, he switched on, that guy.
Yeah, going into the fights, like, that's the thing. Like, I get nervous before fights, but it's like the moment you walk out, you just kind of tell yourself, this is your moment, man. Like, when you hear your music, like, obviously I'm Jamaican, so I walk out with my flag, and like, these are little things that you have to try and make it about you.
Well,
like,
it is, fuck me. That's any moment's about you, that's it.
Like, everyone wants to be humble, no one wants to come across arrogant, which is good. But at the same time, like, you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You don't know if this could be my last fight for whatever reason. I hope it's not, but you never know what tomorrow brings. So it's like, live in the moment, make it about you, have your ring walk, pick your song you want. Like, if you want to dance, you dance. If you want to like do a cartwheel backflip, as long as you land it, I mean. But even if you don't, like, live in your moment. And I feel like as I've done more ring walks, you kind of, I remember my first ring walk was like, I was so nervous. And when that sort of sparkles come out, I was like, oh shit, this is like proper real. Got goosebumps all over. Then my music came on. I was like, yeah, I'm gassed. Like, all the nerves went away. And that's how it's always been. It's like, when it's your time to go, just take it in, like, live in it, because you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. And if someone calls you arrogant on the sides, fuck them. Like, you should be as confident. I feel like your confidence should be dictating how hard you train.
Yeah, but I think it's authenticity. So if you're authentic, it ain't arrogant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing.
You're not spitting at people or whatever.
Or if you're like, it's not like you're watching like Conor McGregor back in the day. Like, oh, this is what he used to do. I'm gonna do it. No, that's not you.
Because that's a good point. Because he was authentic. That was him.
That's what made him so great. He used to chat shit, back it up. He used to put on a show, and then, do you know what I mean? That's why people loved him.
Yeah.
As
I
a
agree.
fighter.
I agree. And I think that's why he lost his way ultimately later. Because he was almost trying to pretend to be what he was.
He's trying to maintain, or he's trying to. He has to let the times change, the sports change.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, even someone like Conor McGregor, who was the pin, he's the reason why I started.
And for a lot of people knock him, but he was great in his day.
He was amazing. Great. Like I said, he's the reason why I started MMA.
That's mad, that, isn't it? Yeah.
But I remember I didn't know what like MMA was. Obviously, I've heard about UFC games.
Yeah.
I knew a bit, like, very, very casual. Like, someone said, do you know what UFC is? I'm like, yeah, it's cage fighting. I know what it is.
Right, that's the word for it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the word. And I remember my boy was like, oh, my boy Benjamin, he used to watch Conor McGregor. He's the guy. And I was like, who's this Conor McGregor guy? Then I heard him talk about fighting Mayweather. And I was like, all right. So I was like, is this going to happen, or is it just speculation? Then it was like, date, set, this is happening. I was like, okay, let me see what this guy is really about. I went back, watched his UFC fights, and I was like, this guy is amazing. He's saying it, he's like, yeah, I'm going to knock you out in round 1 with a head kick, and he's doing it. And I was like, they're saying I'm going to finish you, but to say at this round with this move, I'm going to do it like this, it's crazy.
And truly believing it is
true. And that's the thing, and he said the reason he believed it because he used to say it, he used to mean it, he would write it down, and he used to train hard, so he has no reason to doubt himself.
Yeah, I would recommend anyone look back on them old tapes of him, sort of around that time when they were sort of filming him behind the scenes, and he was talking about what he was doing. Like, when you look at it and you look back, it is like, you forget, I think. It's easy to forget how great he was.
It is easy to forget, and I feel like like they say, it's hard to get up and run when you're coming off from silk sheets, isn't it? Like, he did what every fighter dreams to do.
But I think it's achieving what you wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if you set out to win, I don't know, let's just say your goal would be to win 1 world title. Once you get there and you're kind of satisfied with that, like, it's hard to carry on, isn't it? Whereas if you go like, okay, I want to be a 5-time world champion, once you've won the first one, it ain't nothing, right? Because you're still on the journey.
And that's the thing. I feel like what your goal is dictate how you go about it. Like, for me, I didn't start this journey hoping to be a world champion, the biggest thing, the next Conor McGregor. I always said, I'm doing this and I will take it as far as it takes me. So if it's just training, I'm happy with just training. I just wanted to get into the sport. I wanted a new outlet because football wasn't doing it for me anymore. I'm tired of just being at home, waiting for the weekend, going out with friends, getting drunk, coming home, then doing rinse and repeat.
Right.
And it was just like, I need something new.
But that's an interesting point too, because I think there's something there when someone's got no sort of set goal, outlet, and you're just like, I'm taking this, and I think that carries a lot of people. I know people that have gone so far with that kind of mindset of like, I don't really care, I'm just doing this.
That's the thing, like, I kind of lost that on the way.
Right.
Because it started off, I just want to train, but if it was always like, I'm just going to get into the sport, however far it takes me, But I always said, if I am the next Conor McGregor, I'm not going to say no. But if it's just training, I'll be content with that. I'm happy with it. I don't have any big dreams or aspirations. But as you got better, people start saying, like, you're getting really good. Like, you can become a world champion.
Does that start to, because as you get better, you start to see things that seem so unrealistic, they start to become realistic?
I remember, like I said, I was speaking to like previous coaches, and they're like, I remember they were saying, there's an opportunity for me to fight on the show, and I was like, take it. They're like, nah, that's for you, man. I was like, me? I was like, you think I can? He's like, yeah, where you're going, you can definitely make it. I was like, whoa. And it was good to hear, and I felt very pleased to be like, wow, like, these guys think I can make it that level, because in my mind, these guys are sky high. And no, like, I'm not saying I can't get there, but you don't really, well, for me, I don't really see myself like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I just take one step at a time. Every opportunity that comes, I'll take it. And he's like, yeah, you can get to this level. And that played on my mind a lot. I was like, is this the expectation people have for me? It's like, I need to be at that level. And it's like, so then I started doubting myself. I was like, oh, what if I don't get there? How are they going to feel? And these little voices in your head start to play a part. And this was going into that first loss. So I was like, okay, I really need to perform well. And I thought that was probably my worst performance. And then that added a fuel to the fire, like, oh, these guys are saying I could be the next world champion in this organization. And I'm fighting like this. What are they going to think of me now? And then I literally had to sit back. Because at the start of the year, I remember I was talking to Tom. I was like, Tom, I don't know how much I have more in me, you know? It was like, this is getting long. Like, I don't know. I was like telling him, what's the point of it? What's the point of it all? Because I'm seeing people saying, like, this person's retired. I'm seeing other fighters from, like, the MMA fighters saying, look, I've been in, like, UFC my whole life, and I had to miss, like, daughter's birthday, son's graduation because of the fight. Missed this wedding. This person passed away. I couldn't go to the funeral because I was in camp. All these stories. And I was like, is it really worth it? Like, all these little voices in my head started playing, like, Michael, like, what is, like, let's say you do become a world champion, then what? Then it's like, oh, what's the point of it all? Then I just had to say, look, no. Scrap all of this. Michael, why did you start? You started because you like it. Do you still like it? Yes. Do you want to do it? Yes. Then that's all that matters. Don't worry about if you're becoming a world champion or you're going to be this star, earn this amount. That is all added pressure that you don't need. As long as you still have your passion for, this is just for me, this is how I process it. I still enjoy the sport. I still enjoy competing. I don't like cutting weight, but that's what you have to do. Yeah. But it's just like, carry on going forward with it. I always say is like, people say, oh, when are you going to stop? I was like, I don't know, but all I know is if I wake up tomorrow and the passion's gone, I'm done. Man. This sport for me is, the risks are too high to be in it when you don't want to be. Because that's why you've seen guys get to the top and they retire. And I feel like where they spent so much time in it and they've had to sacrifice so much, they don't know what else to do. They retire and they're like, well, what do I do now? Right. That's why you see a lot of guys come back for the comeback fight. And you left at the top. And you can't, it's not like you come back, you start working with, no, you're going to go right back to the top, back to that hungry fighter who's looking at you as like, that's the aim I need to be. And then you can get hurt and they're like, oh, well, I can't go out on a loss. And they start chasing that last win. Then you're chasing it. That's when it's bad, yeah. And that's why I say, like, you have to leave the game before it leaves you. So if the passion goes, like, if I wake up tomorrow, I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. I'll probably say I'm done because I could probably still hit pads and train, but in terms of competing, I'd be like, what's the point? I don't want to compete. I don't have a passion for it. Why? Just to get hit in the face? Nah, I'm all right. Whereas I still do want to compete, do want to test my skills, I'm going to carry on going forward. And wherever that takes me. I feel like I am at a good spot. I do see the trajectory and it's going well, but one step at a time, one fight at a time, you never know, man. But mate, to have that at 24, and I'm not, again, I've said it a couple of times, not that I'm trying to sit here like some fucking, I've got wisdom and I'm going to tell you, young man. I don't mean it like that, but you know where I'm coming from. Yeah, of course. For a man your age, and I almost want to say like a kid your age, really. 24 is so young, but you're not a kid, you're a man, right? But 24 years old to be seeing it like that, mate, I think it's amazing because a lot of people your age are like reckless, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you don't have that in you. Yeah, and I do speak because I do have friends who are not in the sport who speak in that, and you do give them like ignorance is bliss type thing. They do have a certain way of thinking about fight. I'm like, it's not really like that, you know? Yeah. They're like, yeah, but you're a professional. Like when people hear, like, they're like, oh, what are you? I'm like, I'm a kickboxer. They're like, what? I'm like, I'm a professional kickboxer. Like, professional? It's like, how much money do you make? And like, you're an alien, right? Yeah, and I'm like, innit? I make nothing. Yeah. They're like, but you're professional though. I'm like, yeah, professionals are rule set. It's a funny word because a lot of amateurs and mystic guys are getting paid. They're amateurs, but they're getting paid. That's what I'm trying to say. People hear professional, they think like professional footballer, professional this. I'm like, you're a professional. I'm like, yeah, I earn nothing, I earn ticket commission. Yeah. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, in fact, I probably pay more to fight than I get paid. In terms of time, paying for like sessions at the gym, like memberships, nutritionists. And travel. You see with K1 specifically, is there something that you can sort of get to a point where that is what you do professionally in the sense that people think? Yeah, of course, you do get people who are full-time fighters. So that's what I'm saying, Yeah, so you do get like guys like the One Championships, the Glories. They do fight full-time as far as I see. And they obviously they'll get sponsorships. But from what I see, like people still have to, they can't just, it's not like football where you're getting money in your account every week. No, yeah, right. You still have to earn your living. You can't just sit back and, like, for example, if you get injured in K1, in terms of fighting, like money from fighting, that will probably stop. Yeah. Because the organization won't, you're not on a salary. No. You get paid per fight. Whereas for a footballer, you get injured, you're out, you do your ACL, you're out for 9 months, you're still going to get paid because you're contracted to pay. you're contracted to fight.
And the money you're earning is
And,
on a
it's
level
on
where you're
another
never going to have to
level,
worry
yeah.
about anything, are you?
Yeah, the day kickboxers can make 250 grand a week, boy.
A week.
You know what I mean?
You better invest that money, son. That ticket stub, you better keep that.
If you're able, if you're blessed in that, wherever down the line, 10, 50, wherever.
But I guess what comes to mind is like with K1, like that's quite a, not that it's not prestigious in like martial artists will look at that, and it of course is very prestigious. But in terms of like other arts, your boxing, your MMA, the money's way down the pecking order. Like, do you ever think like, fuck, it's time to start looking at MMA again?
I do, but not from
or even
aspect.
Boxing.
Yeah, I do, but not less. But I do get that feeling. I want to do MMA, but again, it's never been a money aspect for me because I never got into the sport.
And I don't mean it from money like so you can buy yourself a Rolex or that kind of shit. I mean just so you can go, well, I can do this full time.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, the opportunity did present itself. I would love to do it full time, but it's very hard to do it, and it's not on the forefront of my mind a lot of the time because in my mind, like, there's not a lot of money in this sport. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, like this is my passion. I've worked as a profession, and that's probably my downfall because you do get people out there that put themselves out there more. Post more videos, footage.
It's like we said about being authentic. If that ain't you, that ain't
you. Yeah,
you.
that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to get to it more. Like, if you asked me to do this probably a year, I'd probably be like, I don't know, man.
Like, mate, you're on Squeeze the Neck. You've made it now,
yeah,
mate.
Like,
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Like, if you asked me like a year ago, like, I'd probably be like, do I do it? But it's just like, just get yourself out there. What do you have to lose? And like, you get yourself out there more, just exposure. And it's true what they say. All publicity is good publicity. Unless you're doing like a mad thing out there.
To a limit.
Yeah, to a limit. But in terms of just like, if you're, like, for example, if you're known as the bad sparring partner,
right,
it's probably bad that you are like that, but at the same time, you're getting your name out there. If you're smart, you could probably use that in your advantage somehow. Like, for example, where I've been quite active fighter, people I've gone like other places to spar in other gyms, they're like, yeah, I saw you fight on that show. I'm like, really? That was a sick fight. I remember seeing that. I watched that. That was one of my favorite fights. And I'm like, you think that about me? It's like, fair enough.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I followed you on Instagram as well. I'm like, okay, like, you do get yourself out there. And people say it to me all the time. I'm trying my best to put myself out there, post more stuff. But again, it's something I'm trying to, it is new to me. So it is a bit unusual, not common, but I am warming up to it more. But yeah, I feel like if the opportunity did present, so I could be full time. Why not? Like,
yeah, of course.
If you can do something that you love and make money from it, do it.
I tell you what's funny with fighting as well, like to relate it back to football, like you said, like if you've played in the Premier League for a top club and you've earned that kind of money, like at the end of your career, you're in a position where you can retire, right?
Of course.
At 35 or whatever you are. Whereas at the end of a fight career, it's a very tiny percentage.
That's the thing.
It's a percent of a percent that can ever just go, right, I'm done now.
And that's if you exit at your own, like,
and that's not even mentioning the health, right?
Yeah,
that's not even mentioning
if you leave
like,
on your own terms at your best of best. That's how it is. Some
like
people,
Conor McGregor, like you mentioned, he's one of them.
He's probably the finest percent where he exited. He's like, yeah, I'd
But then people would argue that as well, like how is he psychologically? Because he doesn't now, because he seems like he's agitated with people that, I mean, you know.
Since his last fight, every time you hear Conor McGregor in the news, it's been for a negative reason. So it's like I said, it's the juice really worth the squeeze. But you have to remember, a lot of people, they retire not because they want to, it's because they have to. Like, they get, like, people understand their sport like MMA, K1, Muay Thai. You get a big injury, you take 9 months out because, God forbid, you've done your knee or something's gone wrong. That is a lot of time. That's a big part of your career just gone.
Massive, yeah.
And the sport grows so fast. You take 9 months out because you can't move, you can't kick. Okay, then the first week back, you'll realize, okay, I have to kick different. I have to learn my body now. It's like pretty much starting again, and that's why people's like, I can't keep up anymore. It's like my body just can't do it.
And you're also at a level you can't, like, it's, again, like football. Like if you've played in the Premier League, after you stop, you can still go and play Sunday League. It doesn't make no difference. Whereas if you've been a world champion, you can't just fight bums anymore. Not bums. No one's a bum. But you know what I'm saying. You can't fight the bottom level just because you feel like it. It doesn't work that way. You still got to maintain where, or at least close to where you were.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that when those guys leave, like if you leave the game on the top, and then a year later, it's like, I want to come back. You're not coming back.
No.
It's not like you're coming back from like off holiday, like, okay, I'm going to start work my way back up. No, you left at the top. You're going to get thrown right back in there. You left as the champion, world champion. You're going to fight the current champion. Do you know what I mean? Because if not, it's going to be like, what are you doing? This is a mismatch. And you're like, yeah, I probably need a tune-up fight. But it's like, nah, you're going to fight that guy who was looking at you a year ago, hungry, looking like, that's the guy I need to beat. You're going to fight him now. And if you win, you're right back at top. But if you lose, it's like, pretty daunting. Like, yeah, it's not the same.
That's interesting, mate. But like, as we sat here now, this will come out a little bit later. This will come out in August, but we're right at the end of July now, right? So like, the rest of the year, I'm assuming you want to get another fight in at least before?
Yeah, probably a fight or two. I'm not really sure when. This is probably the only time in my career I didn't know when my next fight is. Like, pretty much all my other fights has been like, okay, we have a set date, we know when and where. Except for, I'll probably say, not last year. Was it like, no, last year I had like a 6-month period off. From January to June, I did have one fight because I had a fight in February, opponent pulled out. Then a fight in April, opponent pulled out. And a fight in, no, it was supposed to be February, opponent pulled out. Then a fight in end of March, opponent pulled out. And a fight in May, opponent pulled out. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Everyone's scared of you, mate.
No, I don't know what was going on. This person's injured, this one don't want to fight.
It happens, doesn't it?
It does, and that is part of the game. Even things like that, being inactive.
Yep.
I was ready to fight each time, but it's like 6 months of the year gone. It's like, people are cranking out 2-3 fights in that time, getting that experience. Like, things can change so fast, so it is a hard sport to gauge. But if I can get another one, maybe 2 before the year ends, I'll be happy.
Good man.
But again, this is like the same time as I'm just taking it as it comes, because like, again, this is the time where I can use to get better. That I'm saying, don't have to really worry about cutting weight again, back to back to back. Just let the body rest and heal, and then
Mate, but listen, man, this has been great. I feel like I could
you.
talk to you all day, and
Honestly,
hopefully we do this again at some
I would
point.
love to.
I'd love to get some training in with you as well.
100%.
Maybe I'll let you kick me in the face a few times, or leg at least. Maybe not face. I'll let you kick me in the leg. But mate, before we finish, I always ask the most important question of the day. You've already kind of said it, so we know what's going on today. So good day in Battersea. Which football team you support?
Come on, man, Chelsea boy.
Wash, my man, top man, good man. Always finish with a fist up like this, mate.
Let's go.
Squeeze the neck. Boom.